Sure we can do all we just got to. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know we can do all. Sure we can do all we got to.
Hello. It's where are we? It's, my calendar says it's the 11th of August, and it's been a really busy morning already. It's 11 o'clock now, and I got up around 5:30, or maybe it was 5 o'clock. Not for any special reason, just because I woke up. So I've been tootling around and doing things ever since. So morning chores are done, and they've been interspersed today by me staring at the incubator, because today it is hatching day. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can keep up with the hatch, because every time I do a hatch, I post updates as they happen, and I write update and the time and what's going on. And you can find that by looking at the hashtag HatchWatch2017. So that's HatchWatch2017, all one word, as a hashtag, and you can see exactly what's going on. Right, the other thing I've done this morning is I've gathered in today's bounty of runner beans, and I've also been to collect some elderberries. Now back in, and it doesn't feel like 5 minutes ago, but back in the spring, I collected elderflowers, and at that time I said that I was going to leave about a third. Well, I was going to take about a third of the elderflowers and then leave a third for us and a third for the birds. Well, the birds have certainly had their third of berries, because there's very few left. So I've gathered what I can. I hadn't realised the birds had such a feast, actually, but they have. So yes, so the birds have had a whale of a time out there. They've obviously had masses of berries, and I know this because there's little black bird poops all over the place and not very many berries left on the tree. But what I have been able to do, I've been able to reach some at the top of the tree. Now what I need to tell you is that this tree is, well, it's very old. It's really old. And when the previous owners of our homestead were here, there were large greenhouses, like commercial glass houses, all over the property. And when they took down the one where the elderberry tree is, the elderberry was actually growing inside the greenhouse and had been protected from the worst of the wind most of the time. So when they took it down, there was a good old gust of wind and it fell over. So the elderberry actually lies horizontal along the ground, and then all the branches grow up from it, which from my point of view is brilliant, because it means that elderberries are pretty much all in reach. Now the highest ones are about, well, way above what I can actually reach, but what I do is I use, so she leaning for her prop, I use a long stick with a hook on the end. This is what we actually use to open the skylight windows in our ceiling, but also very good for hooking around a branch, pulling it down, which means I can reach some of the higher elderberries. But I also use it for reaching the plums and anything else that's up high and I can't reach. And that's obviously much safer than me trying to climb on anything to reach things. So what I have got to note is I have got some elderberries, and my next task is to pick all the very black ones off. So if they're black, they're good. If they're black but dried out, like that one at the top, that's no good. if they're purpley red like that one. Well, that's no good either. It's just the soft, plump, juicy black ones that I'm using, and it doesn't feel like that long ago since I was sitting there picking off elderflowers, but here we go. Elderberries. The ones I picked last year I froze and took them out the freezer a few weeks ago, about 2 months ago actually, and I defrosted them and I made elderberry wine with them, which is, well, apparently it's going to be delicious. It's probably too dry for my taste. I don't really drink alcohol anyway, because it's not very good for my Hashimoto's, and I just feel yuck the next day. So I tend not to drink alcohol. I have tried it, and it is, for me, it's just a little bit too dry. But Mr. J likes it, and I get a great deal of pleasure from making things that he likes, even if I don't like them, because when we decided to do this homesteading thing, I took it upon myself to do this as my full-time job, which means I want to make as many things as I can for our family. And Mr. J likes a glass of wine at the end of the day. He doesn't drink very much, but he does like, you know, just a small glass, either with his meal or afterwards when he's relaxing, and he works really hard, so why not? If I can therefore make that wine, all the better, because it's just one less thing we're spending any money on, and our aim is to reduce our outgoings as much as possible. So making our own wine just makes sense. So that was last year. This year I'm making quite a lot of wine actually at the moment, or a lot for us. So excuse me, I was reaching for elderberries that have gone in the wrong direction. So this year I thought, instead of making a wine, I would make elderberry syrup, which is supposed to be very, very good for you in the winter if you're getting coldy and you're feeling, yeah, it's supposed to be very good for you. Now, because they're purple, hang on, I just need to interrupt. Look how many the birds left me on this one. All the rest the birds had. So I think they've done quite well there, but I appreciate the fact that they've left me 4 berries. Yeah, I've got quite a lot like that. Anyway, so elderberry syrup is supposed to be very good for you if you're feeling coldy and fluey, and because these berries are purpley black, we can be fairly safe in the knowledge that they're going to be quite high in antioxidants, which are good for us. They're likely to be quite high in vitamin C, which is also good for us. And the most important thing is I like the taste of them. Elderberry is not good for you when they're raw. They've got something in them that's not brilliant. Can give you an upset tummy. And so yeah, so we cook them before we eat them. But once we've eaten them, I really like the kind of tartness of them. It's a fruity tart flavour. So all good. And so wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing today, I hope it's a productive one and a nice one for you. And I also hope that you can join me again tomorrow for another vlog.